So I'm just getting myself strapped in, and I'm going to do a couple of minutes just light rowing warm up. What's the time now? 8:55. So you can see on screen it says rise and row with RowAlong starting in 15 minutes. But that's because that popped up 10 minutes ago. So sorry, there's a quick sip of coffee first. Okay, so if you are watching this live, then hello. But I'm going to be doing today's 30-minute row at a really nice gentle pace. I'll explain why during the row. But yeah, I'm just going to take it nice and easy today. It's the first one of these rise and roll along things anyway, so I don't really want to be hitting the ground at super speed and then, well, I say super speed, it's me. But I don't really want to just kind of get in here at like 150 pace or something and then everyone goes, oh, look at the RowAlong guy going fast. Man. I kind of want this to be a nice social row. And until I know how fast the majority of people are going to be rowing, then kind of really, that'll help me plan future rows when we do this. Because the plan is to do this every Sunday morning. This 9 o'clock in the morning kind of row slot was a big favourite for a few teams. I first started doing it with Fitness Matters years ago, but they come and go really, where various teams pick it up or people set up a 9 o'clock row on a Sunday morning. And as being got the holiday season coming up, figured it would be quite a nice reason to try and get some more people on board for these morning rows. Which does bring up the question, would anyone want or care about doing it on Christmas Eve or on New Year's Eve, or Hogmanay as we call it here? So I guess that's one of these things that I'll be led by the rowers. If you guys want to do a Sunday morning row along on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, then I'm totally cool to do it. But me and the EXR guys are kind of waiting to see not only how this row goes, but also whether anybody would want to do it. Because there's no point us getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning, or it's like 7:30 for me, and I still couldn't get my tech working. Ugh. Only to find nobody turns up. Right, so I'm going to stop so that I can hit let's go on my app. I'm using the iPad version today. Don't know if that makes any difference at all, because it's all kind of round about the same, but tech-wise it should have worked where I've got my iPad connected to my laptop, the camera's connected, but I don't know why the camera's not going. I'm filming anyway, I'm recording it, so what I might do is put this on properly later with a little inlay of me at the bottom. Don't know, let's see. Okay, got 1 minute 10 to go. There's a whole bunch of people here, look at that. Does it give you a list of how many people? No, it doesn't. Right, I'm kind of, give me a second, sorry, while there's a little bit of a rustle, because I'm about to take my jumper off. Tension of trying to get tech working, so obviously raised my core temperature. Right, 45 seconds. So, like I say, I'm going to do this at a nice gentle pace, because I'm just not in any mood to go fast today, so. Oh, somebody's waved. Hey, loads of people are waving. How do I wave? Right. Oh, 20 seconds to go. Now, if you haven't done any kind of a warm-up, that's perfectly fine. Just going to ease into this at a warm-up pace and then increase. Well, let's just see what pace everyone's rowing at anyway. And we'll just kind of try and hold around. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, it's nice that it says enjoy. Well, hang on, I'm taking off. Where's everybody else? Oh, there we go. Maybe it just took a while for various connections to hit. Now you can change, I don't know if I'll start messing around with settings, but you can change the view. Oh, hang on, so I'm at 220 pace and I've kind of blown past everyone. I'm going to ease off, let them catch up. Where is everybody? Let's try and find... There we go, that's better. What pace is everybody rolling at? Looks like 225-ish. I know there's a guy, Charlie, that does a lot of these. It tends to hold it around about 215. So there's always a chance that that's kind of what everyone's aiming for, because they're just so used to rowing at 215 pace. Okay, so I'm kind of middle. Yeah, maybe that's what they're doing. So that's okay. I mean, not that I'm saying I want to have a nice easy morning, but half hour at 215 pace could be quite nice. 18 strokes a minute. Just work on technique. That slow recovery. Make sure to get the handle over your knees and that forwards tilt into the front of the machine before you bend your knees. I was coaching someone yesterday online, and it was it's really interesting. I mean, it's quite interesting from a point of view that doing it via web chat does put the onus very much on them being able to follow instructions, but he had an early knee bend, and then that led to a very slow arms away and forwards rock. And once we got him to stop that early knee bend, the difference in the stroke just by getting the hands away and the forwards tilt was massive. And you wouldn't think it, but it's all about, I mean, it makes no difference speed-wise at the back of the stroke, how you recover. But in terms of getting you set up properly for the next stroke to come, is vital. And as being his major problem was posture and swinging his upper back too soon, you'd think that the majority of the work would be focused just on the front of the stroke, making sure to get in the right position, which, well, it is. I'm not saying it's not, but making sure to get into that proper position even before you bend your knees to recover. That's how you make sure you're in that forwards tilt and you don't have to do any more kind of work or thinking with your upper body. Now I'm kind of no man's land here, aren't I? There's a bunch of people behind me, a bunch of people in front of me. I might just catch up to these folks. If you're just watching this and not rowing along, you can see, like, directly in line with me, just in front of me, there's like a white ghost rower. And that's one of my previous rows on the Henley River. which, let's talk about that actually. Well, let's cap that off first. So that's a great feature of this app, is that you can row a course or like a sprint or something, and then at various stages you see your ghost rower pop up so you can race yourself. Maybe you're just solo and you need that as a kind of a reason to push. But just take a look at the water here in terms of how good looking an app this is. The reflections of the hot air balloons. And I'll tell you one thing actually, sorry I'm scattering all over the place. One thing I've just noticed, and it's something that hasn't happened on any of my previous rows, is my rower, like the avatar, is now entirely in sync with me. So it used to be that I'd take a stroke and then half a second later my little avatar would take it, and it just felt just less immersive really when that happened. But now it's in time. I remember actually Maxim from EXR saying that that was the case, that they'd basically, it kind of correlates stroke timing based on your one before to adjust it to be in time with you. And it's a small thing making this happen, but I think as rowers we kind of get used to wanting to see a specific thing on screen. I think rowing backwards and stroke timing are the two minimums that we expect. Things like the HoloFit app for VR is great, but a lot of the courses, or at least the last time I used HoloFit, a lot of the courses you rowed forwards, mostly because they gamify it and you're kind of collecting things as you row, so it kind of makes sense. But if you're looking for immersive rowing, which is another company, but then you really want it to be as though you're rowing. So there's C. Simpson, Charlie Simpson, who's got 2:15 pace in his name. Now whether I've drawn him out to be rowing down at 2:05, or maybe he just wants to push it today, who knows. So you can see bottom right, there's like a world overview which shows how many people are here on the river. And there's loads of us. It's very quite satisfying to see so many people turning up. I suppose the finishing table will have a list of how many people, but I'm guessing, I don't know, 15, 20, which is a good turnout for Sunday morning, especially when you think we're kind of slap bang in the middle of Christmas party season. So there may be some folks with sore heads this morning. In fact, I was out last night with the local dads, kind of my friends that live near me, went out for a curry and a couple of glasses of beer. But one of the great things about these 9 o'clock in the morning rows is they make you, well, they should make you need to behave the night before. So there was no way I was gonna absolutely cane it and have loads of alcohol last night, knowing that I had to get up nice and early today. There, there's my ghost for this row. So that's one of the reasons why this 9 o'clock Sunday morning is very useful. It's like Saturday mornings, I'll try to do a park run if I can, for exactly the same reason. Make sure I get to bed at a decent time and all that stuff. Not that I'm a party boy. I'm not out hardly ever. And I do only it's only every now and then that I actually do have any kind of beer or anything. Not because, well, it's mostly because when I have something to drink, the part of my brain that says don't eat that, when it comes to like chocolate and crisps and stuff, beer tends to turn that off. And so I've had a couple of beers, I'll start to reach for the biscuit cupboard and things, which, hey, hello Michael. It's funny actually, I was about to start talking about High Rocks, and the guy that's just popped up is, I was started off connected just to the RowAlong thing, but he does the High Rocks thing as well, so I've met him twice at High Rocks races. Nice guy. But yeah, so I started doing this High Rocks thing, which, if you don't know, it's basically 8 1 kilometer runs, and in between you do like skiing, rowing, sled pushes, lunges, wall balls, all things designed to really make you suffer for an hour plus. And good thing about that is that there's no weight category, so I'm used to really needing to watch my weight stay under 75 kilograms in order to be a lightweight rower, which when I was racing I showed some proficiency for. But with High Rocks there's no weight class, just age, which means I can kind of hover around about 78 to 80, put on a couple of kilograms of muscle if I want. But the narcissist in me still wants to look after myself, and even though I do have my ups and downs, I want to make sure I'm mostly happy with what I see in the mirror, or when we go on holiday on the beach, nobody tries to throw a harpoon at me. And that's why I'm talking about like alcohol being my weakness in terms of turning off my food control. Because, like I've said, time and time again, you cannot out-train your fork. So if you are exercising for the fitness benefits and stuff, but also to try to lose weight, which is fair enough, exercise can help with that, then you need to be sensible and use it as part of a proper program, and not see, like, this half-hour row today, I guess I'll burn probably around 300 calories, maybe 350. And so what you don't want to do is kind of try and offset. Actually, I've just noticed, is my audio peaking? Oh no, right, I'll tell you what, I can quickly turn my volume down. There goes that better. Maybe catch up with people. There we go. Yeah, so if you're trying to lose weight and you go out and row 300 calories, then there's no point then having a Mars bar. I'm going to turn this down again a bit more. Hang on. There we go. Sorry if you've been listening and it's been distorting all over the place. Just catch up with people again. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to go through this the third time. So, if you're trying to lose weight and your diet isn't part of that, then exercise will only take you so far. And by diet, I don't mean going on a carb only or fat only or meat only or anything only fad diet. I just mean what you eat, looking at calorie intake versus calorie expenditure. And basically, if you burn more calories than you eat, your body needs to make up for that by burning fat in order to create the energy to make up the deficit. I mean, it's a very simplistic overview there. I'm not going to be writing any scientific papers when it comes to the science of weight loss, but you get what I mean. So you can use exercise as a way to aid that calorie deficit. Just don't use it as an excuse to go eat a Twix. And it's all kind of the multifaceted reason of why rowing is such a good exercise to do. I mean, if you're doing it right, with a good technique, you should be using kind of 85% of the muscles in your body. But like I say, technique is key there. If you don't have that engagement of your back as you push your legs into the machine, then you'll be losing a good kind of, well, it depends. If it's just your back you're missing, then that's a good 30%. But if you're also having a very lackluster leg drive because you're not connecting your back, that can be like another 40%. And that's why you'll find people kind of just moving up and down the machine at 30 strokes a minute, but because they're not pushing with their legs and engaging their back as they do so, then they're not putting the power and the pace into the machine, and they're also not getting the workout that they think they are. So I'm saying I'm going to burn around about 350 calories today, but I'm really sticking in the effort here to burn those calories. And so I know that when I get the calorie readout on my watch, it's going to be accurate to within like 50 calories. Whereas it will be totally different to the calorie readout on my monitor. In fact, if I change the units, it's me on watts, they're calories. So I'll see if I remember this by the end of the row, but right now we're 22 and a half minutes into this row, and my Concept2 monitor, and in fact EXR as well, because they're both linked data-wise, have me at 338 calories so far. So I figure, what about 480 maybe is what Concept2 will read for this half-hour row. But it doesn't know me. It doesn't know my actual height. It's not working this out based on heart rate because I forgot to connect my heart rate monitor. So it's just guessing. And so let's say Concept2 has me at 480 calories, but my watch, which is based on heart rate and exertion, has me at 350, then I want to make sure to reference the lowest number if I was to be trying to lose weight, because those extra 130 calories from Concept2 might be enough to undo my efforts. That's enough about weight loss. Don't really think anybody particularly cares about my views on weight loss and calorie burn of the Concept2 versus my Garmin watch. It is interesting just seeing or feeling the cardiac drift. like the intensity drift of this row. Fair enough. Started off at like 215, 220 pace, and we're now down at 205, which is my kind of training pace right now for 20 strokes a minute. I'm not really in racing mode for the past year and a half due to the high rock stuff, because there's basically the row in high rocks is only 1 kilometer long, and it comes right in the middle of the race, where if I was to sit down and do a 1k time trial, even if it was only like 315 pace, it would completely torpedo the rest of my race. So in high rocks, you basically sit down and find the most efficient speed for you in terms of not going so slow that you're losing time, not going so fast that you blow up your cardio, but finding the middle ground where you can basically use good technique to hold an okay pace. So I'll row it run about 3:55 for the 1k, which is 40 seconds slower than if I was to do a time trial. But if I was to do that time trial, I'd lose that 40 seconds in the rest of the race because I'll have blown up. So what that means is that I've just not been training top end rowing. I've really just been doing engine building rows like the one we're doing today, in order to kind of build up overall fitness. Because like I say, the High Rocks race, right now I'm doing it in an hour 19. And so I need to make sure that my body is comfortable at like zone 4, zone 5 heart rate for an hour and 20 minutes. And that's where these long, slow rows really come in to their own. Fair enough, it's not an 80-minute row, but I'll do this, and then later on today I'll go for a 10k run, and then at night I'll do some resistance training, do some weights. And so those 3 activities a day, they combine to help me. Where are we? Oh, 45 seconds to go. I don't think I'm going to race to the finish here. I'm quite happy between 203, 205. Hey, what happened there? But hopefully you'll agree that the EXR app looks gorgeous, and that there's something really nice about this group row, about everyone being on the water together on a Sunday morning. Last stroke for me. Oh. 50 participants, wow. I mean, in the days of the Row Pro mornings. We were lucky to, I mean, you could only do 16 at a time, and we were lucky to hit 16, so whilst 15 experience coins, that's what the 15 in the middle is. Fantastic, all right. Well, as being, you can't, I'm shaking my arms off, that's funny. Oh, I got another 10 coins there. Oh, I've got 3,184 coins in total. I should really do something with them. Yeah, so as being I'm not on camera, if you have put up with this YouTube live stream, especially with the fact that I think the first 15 minutes the audio was obviously distorting, so if you're able to put up with this, then yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I will do the I'll remake it and I'll post it properly onto YouTube, because that way I can overlay the video and you can see me. So yeah, so hello. Thank you so much for joining me for this. Remember and get in touch and let me know whether you want to do the same thing next Sunday morning on Christmas Eve. Excuse me. And then whether we do another one on New Year's Eve. We've got one planned on the 7th of January, so that's definitely happening in case you're interested in that one. But in the meantime, do get in touch either on the EXR Discord, or you can go to my RowAlong Facebook group, or find me on Instagram, which is RowAlong_workouts, or Twitter is RowAlong_videos, because workouts is too long a name, weirdly. Or you can come to the YouTube channel and of course comment on this video, let me know whether you enjoyed it, whether you want to do another one, and all that kind of stuff. But I certainly did. Final thing to say then is, because I was talking about calorie burn, let me just quickly save this so I get, so Concept2 had me at 446 calories for that 30 minutes. Let's see, I'm just looking at my Garmin trying to find where calories are. Okay. So Garmin had active calories 438. So actually, excuse me, actually there's an edit that's gonna have to happen there. Actually very close to the Concept2. So Garmin had active calories 438, Concept2 is 446. Garmin though had total calories of 508, and that's an interesting one, because basically that's because I also burnt 58 calories or whatever just by being alive for half an hour. And so that makes, when you're looking at your calorie burn, when something gives you a report, you do need to kind of look at active versus total, and just be kind of careful that you're not taking in too many calories. Right, I'm about to have another coughing fit, so I'm going to say goodbye. All right, so thank you so much for joining me for this one. Do get in touch, let me know whether you want to do another one, if there's anything you'd like to change, like, are you quite happy not seeing me on screen during the live row? And again, apologies if there was a peaky audio at the beginning. So have a great Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, take care, be well, bye-bye.